that's it. After all that process, you get these plates. It's not an easy process given that, but once you get it, you save a huge amount onto keeping your old car. Hi, welcome back to CarsAddiction.com. I'm Ryan, and today we're going to go over how to apply for the vintage license for the country of Malta. There's various things you need to know and various advantages to this license scheme, so we'll go throughout all of them throughout this video. Number one, the one advantage is the cost of the yearly license. Now, we'll take an example of my Toyota Hilux, which I recently applied for. That yearly license for that truck is 298 euros. And insurance depends really what stage of insurance you go for, person you are, what past you had. But for my case, it was about 250 euros. So in all, you had about cost of 550 euros per year to keep that truck. Now with the vintage license, that is 8 euros of road license. That is a significant set amount of savings. And insurance is, believe it or not, for vintage cars is very cheap because they know that you can take care of the vehicle and you're going to be extra cautious. And that's about 90 euros per year. So from 550, we're talking to about 100 euros. That is over 300% or whatever percent savings. So that's the main advantage of having a car registered as a vintage. The downside is that you're limited to 3,000 kilometers per year. You cannot use it for commercial use. That means you cannot use it to rent it out for weddings or photo shoots or anything like that, or otherwise you get penalized. So it is properly for the enthusiasts to have and enjoy their old cars. Now the car must be 30 years old or older. That means if we're 2021, the car has to be of the year 1991 or older. Now it doesn't matter the month, so if we're in June and it's August of 2021, that will still apply for vintage license. Now, the main criteria for it to pass the vintage license is it is exactly to the time, the period correctness, and maintain well. Meaning that if I get the photo of the car and compare it to something of a brochure of that time, it will be exact. Meaning that there is no rust or dent spots, the body is well kept. The modifications to the car is actually extras that were available at the time. The engine does not have to be original to the car because obviously cars break down and we need to replace parts, but is exactly to the one that might have been available to that time. So if we're talking a Toyota Hilux, if it originally had a 2.8 diesel, now it has a 2.4 diesel, or the V6 from the American pickup, that will obviously pass. But if it has a engine from a Rover or a modern 3-liter Toyota diesel engine, that will fail. So, and aftermarket wheels are very ignored, I might say. They can be easily changed, so I won't worry about that. Bumpers have to be original. Basically, if you're not sure if your car will pass or not, just grab a brochure of that time and compare your car with that and make sure that it is very close. Now, when you come to apply for the vintage, you're going to ask for 8 photographs. You're going to ask for the front, rear, both sides, interior facing the dashboard, interior facing the seats, and they're going to ask for another 2 photographs for the engine. The whole engine bay, so you have to show the struts, and then zoom in and get the engine on its own. Those 8 photographs have to apply for the form. Now, the form you need to fill in is called VEH15, and you put all the details which you can find from your logbook into the form. Now, when you're ready, so you have the 8 photographs, you have the form, you prepare a check of 50 euros. Unfortunately, they don't accept cash or credit card. It has to be a check. Put them in an envelope, go to your nearest Transport Malta office and submit this form. Now, they tell you it's between 4 to 6 weeks waiting time. In my case, it's been 3 months. They analyze each application by hand and they only meet once a week. So you have to be patient. Just take that into consideration when you start applying for it. So if your license is going to end soon, go ahead and renew it. You'll get refunded from the insurance and from Transport Malta for the difference if your car gets approved. So once your car is approved for vintage license, you'll receive such a letter explaining that you need to go to Transport Malta, bring in this notice, the 2 plates of your car, the ones in white, the Form VH06 fully filled up, and that you're going to be charged 35 euros per plate, so that's 70 euros charge. And then they'll be charging you 8 euros instead of the yearly road tax, and I think there's a 10 euros administration fee. Okay, now there's 2 pages in this acceptance form. The second page just reminds you that, you know, from time to time there might be inspections just to make sure your car is up to date with the vintage scheme. I hope this tutorial has been helpful. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps us a lot. Thank you for watching. Take care.